Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at the events that are happening this week and the impact that they could have on crypto. Obviously, these events are more economic events and they're going to really sort of let us understand more about the lay of the land. And we've already had one event that happened yesterday, so we'll cover that and what outputs what those outputs mean for crypto. Now, I see many people talking about indicators, talking about several indicators pointing that the bottom is already in. And I want to sort of take the time to, cover off why I think that, a lot of these indicators are going to be rendered useless over a period of time. And the fact that I think, most of them, if not all of them, could potentially mean absolutely nothing. And it could just be, getting a lot of people's hopes up for no reason. Because if you just stand and look at indicators with very little data, or buckets of data, over a very short period of time, and you ignore all the fundamental economic issues that are happening outside of that one particular market, it could be a recipe for disaster. If you enjoyed today's video, mash up that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and jump in our Discord. Link is in the description. It's free to join. So yeah, there's no reason not to. Over 3,900 people talking about crypto 24/7. Is the place to be. And we do have our meetup in like a couple of days time now in London on Friday, starting at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Check out the Discord, all the details are in there. You will need to register if you wish to come. Okay, let's get down to the desktop and let's get into all of this nonsense. Okay, so we're going to start on coin market cap, and we're currently up 1.57% for the total market cap of crypto at $981.86 billion. And Bitcoin, it recovered a little bit from the really small pullback that it had. It's now at 21,272.80, which is up about 0.75%, so 0.78%. And yeah, really want to sort of talk about the IMF, right? And they've been coming out, and I guess they've been posing or articulating the risk that stable coins pose to the crypto market, and stating that this is, stable coins are the biggest risk to the crypto market. And yeah, I think they could be, bang on with this. And I think we have to consider risk, and it feels like the channel's become very negative all of a sudden with all of this bad news that's been sort of happening in the space. And I see a lot of others, slinging lots of hopium out there to everybody. But, Nick and myself are trying to be transparent with people, and we're not bothered about the additional followers, which, I look at across the landscape of Twitter today and YouTube videos talking about the people talking about the bottom being in, people talking about, the amount of millionaires are going to be made with Bitcoin, in the next bull cycle, buy now, and couldn't be a better time to buy than now. And all of this stuff I kind of feel is just a farm followers. It's just my opinion. You guys can let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree. But Nick and myself are about realism. We're about telling you the honest truth of how we see the market, what the data is telling you honestly. And Nick and myself have got probably a bit more experience than a lot of the other youthful individuals that are on TikTok, that are on Twitter, that are on YouTube. Most of these people aren't fit to lace my boots. But I think it's really important that we take these economic concerns and government concerns seriously at points, right? The IMF talking about stable coins posing a risk, potentially the biggest risk to crypto, is a big deal, and we should be taking notice of this. And where does this play a part? This plays a part in our risk management, right? And a lot of people aren't talking about risk management. Do you need to be in stable coins? Could you not be in fiat, sat on the sidelines on an exchange like Binance, for example, if you wanted to keep your crypto on an exchange, or your money on an exchange, rather than, you know, depositing it in a bank, for example. You know, I just question whether we even need to be in stable coins. There's enough pairs to fiat options on many of the exchanges. So, you know, for me, I'm in Great British Sterling. I'm reducing my risk. So if I've got money on an exchange, for example, it's in GBP, right? And it's not in stable coins, because, you know, if you have stable coins on the exchange, this is just my opinion, you're not only running the risk of having the crypto on the exchange, which is one risk, but you've also got the risk of the stable coin collapsing. And there's many different stable coins. And, you know, I think, yeah, look, if USDT or USDC go down, that is going to be very, very bad for crypto. Now, I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that what the IMF are stating here, you know, is factually accurate. But what I am saying is, you know, consider your risk tolerances, yeah, and question whether you need to hold the risk that you already hold. Right, so moving on anyway. Crypto market quickly rebounds after IMF predicts increased recession risk. Now, why would they? Why would everything rebound? Again, it feels like a lot of manipulation going on. You know, look, the IMF are pretty much saying that the likes of the US. See if I can find it here. Yeah, the likes of the US, China, and the Eurozone are all stalling. So basically, what they're implying here is they're stalling in order to you know, prolong the inevitable, right? They're trying to, you know, prevent it for as long as they can. But eventually, we're going to go into a recession, and this is why Nick and myself are very, you know, clear about the fact that we don't believe the bottom is in. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter if we're right or we're wrong. But what I disagree with is people, you know, talking about indicators that have very little historic presence to be able to actually, you know, concretely say that, you know, they're accurate, or, you know, they can't fail, because they can fail, and in my opinion they're likely to fail. And you know, you just have to look at the likes of Plan B, for example, with a lot of his models and how they weren't successful. Like, that's no discredit to Plan B. You know, it's great to have a model, and a model's great until it isn't great anymore. And I think that's what we're going to see with a lot of these models that we have currently. And, you know, a lot of the people that talk about these models, you know, don't get me wrong, they're very intelligent, great people. But they're not all of them are taking into consideration all of the other macro events. And, you know, you might make something that works very, very well, but if you don't take into consideration other macro events, it's not going to be one that's going to succeed. And it's the same you see with some of these projects where you try to forecast, but you just don't know what's going to happen in the future with some of these other events. So, you know, we've got other important events happening. We've got one today. We've got the Fed policy announcement. You know, are they going to go with 75 basis points, or are they going to go with 100? Are they going to go with less, or are they going to go with more? It's going to be really interesting. Everybody's talking about the fact that 75 basis points have been, you know, basically priced in. I agree with that. You know, lots of people say, no, it's all priced in already. But, you know, it's priced in until, you know, their hunch was wrong, and then it's no longer priced in anymore, right? We've seen some of the earning reports, some good, some not so good. Again, it's one of those that are impacting the market this week. So, yeah, look, the Fed policy announcement today. Tomorrow, we've got the US GDP growth data for Q2. And then Friday, we've got US PCE inflation data. And also on Friday, we've got the Eurozone consumer price inflation. So, look, lots going on this week. I think it's far too early for anybody to be talking about indicators being accurate. And, you know, for me, these are all set up to fail. I mean, if you look here, we're basing this on like what, four historic pieces of data. Now, probability would say that the next one's going to be wrong. Yeah, well, you're basing it on three, aren't you? So the next one, you know, this fourth one that they're saying the bottom is in, probability would say that actually this is likely to be wrong. So look, it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean that I'm right. But when I see lots of people talking about all these different indicators, there isn't that much historic data in order to validate whether a model is going to be successful or not, right? And this is why it's such a difficult space. And you have that counter argument of one group of people saying technical analysis means nothing. Another party, talking about the fact that it's fantastic. It's never been wrong, but it's never been wrong until it is wrong. And that's kind of my thoughts and opinions on it. There's an awful lot going on. There's a huge likelihood that we're going into a recession. Lots of people's expenditure is going to increase, which means they're going to have less funds in order to invest. Ultimately, the big players may make some huge gains in the crypto space during a recession. You can see the whales selling off. It's all in the data. You just have to look. But when people are saying they're not emotional and they're looking at the data, they're being very selective about the data that they're choosing to air. I feel that a lot of it is just for followers and just for clicks, and a lot of hopium. Look, I would rather be transparent and honest about what we see in the space and be wrong, than just try to blow smoke up people's arse and hopium their way in order to get clicks and views. So that's my views, my opinions. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Jump in our Discord, have more meaningful conversations with us. Love to catch you there, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.